That music always gets me. Hey guys, how are you doing? I am here to tell you about a new movie that I watched this week. I watched Muppets, Muppets Christmas Carol. I know a lot of people had asked me, why haven't you seen this movie? Actually, haven't seen. Oh, I was for a second there. I thought I hadn't seen any Muppets movies, but I have. I've seen at least one where there was like some people from outer space or something. It's like a wild movie. I can't tell you what the name is, but this one in particular is the Muppets Christmas Carol. Let me bring on the slide. And my God, well, actually, it's the Muppet Christmas Carol. I was crying the whole time. It was really, really emotional for me because it was so sweet. And they had little moments in this story that I had never seen before revealed as sort of like character traits, development, things like that. And I just love this particular version of it. I was very surprised also by how funny it is. It's hilarious as well. There's lots of gags, lots of physical gags. There was one performance that really stuck out to me. So let me just continue on. And before I get any further, I want to just talk a little bit about the film generally. The Muppet Christmas Carol, released in 1992, rated G, at an hour and 25 minutes. I do love the short watch times. I know I keep making a big deal out of it, but I'm like, what? It's still good? Yes, it's just incredible. There are many ways to see this. In particular watched it on Disney Plus. I really would love to have a copy. So I'm going to be on the lookout for a copy of this movie. The director was Brian Henson. I believe, is that Jim Henson's son? Let's do some looking around. Brian Henson is an American puppeteer, director, producer, voice actor, and the chairman of Jim Henson Company, the Jim Henson Company. He is the son of puppeteers Jim and Jane Henson. So yes, that is absolutely true. They have let's see, how many children altogether? There's John, Lisa, Cheryl, and Heather. And remember that Cheryl worked with Jim Henson on a few other projects, if I'm not mistaken. But yes, this is wonderful. I'm like super, super excited about this. Yeah, and here's the other movie I saw, Muppets in Space. Yeah, that's the one I saw. So the writers, of course, Charles Dickens, but it was adapted by Jerry Jewell. Let's talk about the players. Of course, it stars Michael Caine, who is excellent. He is just wonderful in this. Absolutely wonderful in this. There was a young man in here that I was really surprised. He looks so much like Michael Caine, even though in real life he doesn't look like him at all. They just I don't know, but if it was makeup or just the way they kind of made both characters kind of look like the one character, but his name is Raymond Couthard, played young Scrooge, and did a wonderful job, just a wonderful job. And see, of course, leading the way and actually being sort of the star of the show is Gonzo. Wow, 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 wow. Pretending that he is the great Charles Dickens and telling the story to a tiny little rat by the name of Rizzo, Rizzo the rat, voiced by Steve Whitmire. Great job. I couldn't help laughing so much at these guys. They were fantastic. Let's see, we've got Frank Oz, of course, doing Miss Piggy's voice. Okay, so there's a lot of overlapping. Is that what I'm seeing? Or actors doing multiple voice acting, right? So we've got David Getz doing Gonzo's voice, and he did the voice for Robert Marley, Bunsen Honeydew. And then we've got Steve Whitmire, who does the voice for Rizzo the Rat, Bean Bunny. He also did Kermit the Frog. Interesting. He did Beaker as well, and this is the first time I ever heard Beaker actually say a word. He says, what does he say? He says, "Oh dear." I was like, "Beaker speaks." It was really, really cute. Then we've got Belinda Cratchit. Jerry Nelson did Tiny Tim Cratchit. Jacob Marley, Ghost of Christmas Present. Oh wow. Wow, he has range. He went from Tiny Tim to the Ghost of Christmas Present. That's range. That's range. And there were a whole bunch of other little voices that he did as well. And of course, Frank Oz did Miss Piggy's voice. He did Fozzie Bear and Animal as well, and a whole bunch of other characters. Really, this is really great. Ghost of Christmas Present performer. I wanted to single out the person who did that. Let's see if I can find Sam. Yes, the Ghost of Christmas Present. This performance was so animated and just wonderful. I was like, wow, who's in that suit? Who is doing that? Who's doing that amazing performance? I mean, it was just incredible how well he moved and how much he had to move because that is a very big costume. It must have been boiling in there, but he was fantastic. The name of the performer is Rob Teigner. Did a wonderful job there. Also did the movements for Ghost of Christmas Past, which is a unique costume. Let's see that one. Yes, I absolutely love the creative vision for this ghost. It is really cute. Oh, almost looks like a gelfling, right? I'm sorry. So Cheryl Henson worked with him on the Dark Crystal. This all came back to me. She worked on it with him, and yeah, this does look very Gelfling looking. This character, but was so cute. I was like, wow, that's so adorable. I want one of those. um, and Robert Teigner did the body performance for that as well, and a couple of additional puppets that he did. I mean, it looks like everybody did a little bit of everything. Let's see what else. Oh, Ghost of Christmas Past also had another performer, which was Karen Prell. She also, so some of these Muppets had multiple people working on them as well. And there was also William Todd Jones, who also worked on that puppet as well. So that's a lot of people working on that particular puppet. Now, Jessica Fox did the voice of Christmas Past, the Ghost of Christmas Past, and was very good. Oh my God, the performances were just incredible, and I get wrapped up into that, and it really pulls me in, if you will, because it was just great work. They just did fabulous work. So basically, the story starts with Gonzo taking the lead, which is really surprising to me. I was like, God, no, I loved Gonzo, but I didn't expect him to be the star of this. He really was in many ways, and Rizzo, definitely was around for the laughs. There were so many little gags and funny jokes surrounding Rizzo, who is the audience pretty much, asking many questions about the story and Gonzo providing the answers. So that was very, very well. Gonzo is a wonderful storyteller. He can tell me a story anytime. And it's just a lot of fun seeing these two little characters together. These characters, if you're familiar with the Muppet Show, are Statler and Waldorf. And, they have quite a different look this time, being the ghost of Christmas, the ghost to visit Scrooge. by the name of Marley, and we're typically known of seeing just one Marley. In this case, they've decided to make it two people, and I think it's great. They have a wonderful song called Marley and Marley, and it's just you can start singing along to it the first time. It's just great. There's a point in the story where Rizzo says to Gonzo, and they're kind of breaking the fourth wall by saying this. Well, hey, should we be worried about the children in the audience? And Gonzo says, nope, this is culture. And I was like, huh, interesting. They already heard the complaints and then had already made put the answers out there for anyone watching who was like, okay, we're talking about ghosts. This could be scary for kids. And they explain it away quite nicely. And also, it isn't so bad the way it's framed. The way it's framed, it's so lighthearted and sweet. So I do like this. This is one of my favorites now. As you can tell, this is not one of my favorites. And so yeah, I had a big kick out of seeing these two. I really wanted them to be on screen a little bit longer though. That's my only complaint about the scene with of these guys. I wanted them to be on screen a little bit longer. At one point, Scrooge asks them, "Who are you?" And they said, one says that I'm avarice, and the other one says I'm greed. And it is incredible that they would kind of identify the things that Scrooge has to change about himself in order to become a better person. It's really great. Michael Caine was wonderful. Yes, he sings his own songs, and they're great. He's just just a great performer in general, and this was him just playing an incredible part. He's surrounded by all of these Muppets. Not at any time do you feel like he is not performing at 100%. Like, you don't feel like he's phoning it in. You don't feel like he doesn't really care. He's not smiling inappropriately when he's not supposed to be. He's really into the character and the fear of what what he's going through or disgust or whatever it is that he may be feeling at the time. And you do feel that shift when certain ghosts actually get to him and either make him feel uncomfortable or like make him to start to feel some warmth in his heart. So yeah, as I was saying before, this is a wonderful a Muppet or puppet, and I just wanted her. I'm like, I want her. I want her to be my friend. She's so pretty. And then we go into the past, and we have quite a few characters that we know and love from the Muppets that show up in the story. And it's always wonderful to see those characters and a little bit strange to see them play a character that's not who they typically are in our memories. So I thought it was really cool. This is Scrooge as a little boy. He learns the value of hard work with this headmaster of the school. So he's like, hard work, will get you far in life. Always work hard. And so he learns that, but he doesn't learn how to live. He doesn't know how to enjoy his life. And so it's all about the work and all about um, the money for him, because when he was a kid he couldn't afford to go home. He could not go home. He had to stay at the school. So that really affects him psychologically. Now, I mean, of course, you got all the really cool Muppets here and Animal in the back. So great. One of my favorite Muppets actually is Animal. He works for Fozzie Bear, and Fozzie in the story it's Fizzy Gig, and I love the the change and how it's close to Fozzie, the name Fozzie. And this is yeah, the young man who was playing a younger Michael Caine. He doesn't really look like him, but in this movie they dress him up to look a lot like him. There's a lot of similarities physically, and I was like, wow, great job. And here is the young lady that he was going to marry. She is absolutely stunning and sweet. Again, I didn't feel like there was enough time with this relationship for us to get into it or fall in love with her, or feel a sense of their relationship. It really goes by fast, but it tells the story quite well. Then we get to the Ghost of Christmas Present, which is I think is the standout character here for me. He is absolutely incredible. The physical performance and the song that he sings. Let me see what the name of that song is. It's called It Feels Like Christmas, and the lyrics are just incredible. I absolutely adore it. As many times as I can hear that song, I'm into it. I am so into it. And like I said, the performance is really the thing that really ties you into the whole thing. And having all the Muppets around and having this whole like communal area where they're all singing and having a great time. Wow, what a great feeling just watching that. And again, the lyrics are incredible. I It has my heart. It has my heart. It has my heart. Let's see. We have it's just really great stuff. And now the thing about Christmas Present is that Christmas Present will get old on you as you're talking to him because he only lives for a short for a day, and it didn't play for sadness, but there is oh my God, I'm getting verklempt right now just thinking about it. But there's something endearing about the character that you don't want him to go. And seeing him getting older and older, they're putting a little bit more gray into his hair and his to his beard, and you're just like, oh no, he can't go. No, we don't want him to go. And so it it's very touching when, he leaves. You get a sense that Scrooge has learned something from his experience with him. Yeah, it's so sad. I just bawled. I just started crying like crazy on this scene. I was like, "No, don't go. Don't go." I really didn't want him to go, and he was so sweet. And like the values that he expresses in this song that he sung, and just the generalness of how energetic he was. I just wanted him to stay on screen for as long as possible. But we have to go on to the next part of the story, right? It just really breaks your heart. You can see here that Scrooge is starting to warm up. There's a smile like coming on, bringing on his face. It is coming on his face. Like he's starting to smile. He even sings along a little bit. So he's starting to feel good about the present day. And he takes him to see the Cratchits and really falls in love with that, little tiny Tim, who is, of course, as sweet as can be. And the family dynamic it's really interesting because you have Miss Piggy and the two little piggies who are they're quite fresh little girls, but they're adorable. I mean, you gotta love them. And then, well, there's two frog brothers, right? Tiny Tim, and then there's another frog brother, and he was helping with the household stuff, which is so sweet. And you just love this family immediately. They're adorable. He does fall in love with the family, and he asks, of course, about Tiny Tim. What is going to happen to this little boy? And it's the same story that we always hear about Tiny Tim. Tiny Tim is the one thing that Scrooge cannot look at and say, life has treated him fairly. He gets what he deserves. At some point, he just wants to make sure that that kid is safe. It's the one thing that breaks the ice for his icy heart and makes it warm again. So yeah, it was really sweet to see this scene all play out. And of course, Tiny Tim singing and the entire family joining in. That's great. There's nothing like family when everybody's getting along and, and enjoying themselves. And so we come to the Ghost of Christmas Future. And I really loved the design for this character. It was wonderful. There was a tiny bit of CGI used in this, and it was used very well. I looked at it and I was like, wait a minute, this is actually, they used it very sparingly, but it created quite the look of something weird and magical happening. They used it properly. And I wanted to commend them for doing that. Not that many people in the 90s were using special effects in this particular way. It was really, a lot of people were abusing it. And so this was well done, well done. Yes, looks so cool. And of course, he experiences the whole tragedy of Noah learning that he's going to die, and that I think that's the only one that he learns. And he changes, of course, because and also just the way the town is taking his death, how rude they're being to the person who's dead. He doesn't even know it's him. He's like, wow, why are they talking this way about a dead person? I just think that this is such a great story. That's why I like any kind of Christmas Carol. But I think in the context of this story, the way it's being shown, and just for kids in general, this is great. But this is a great piece of entertainment. Great piece of entertainment. I love the fact that there is a strong transformation of the character, and all the methods they use to get him to this spot. Scrooge does this whole thing. He goes throughout the entire town and really gets like everybody involved and gets everybody to celebrate Christmas. Is way more merrier when he's sort of being the leader of the band, if you will, and he gets everybody to go to Bob Cratchit's house for a dinner, and he's brought the turkey, of course, and it's just wonderful. Wonderful little celebration, and it's really nice. I always cry at this, and so he gets to sit at the head of the table and sing with the little sweet little tiny Tim, and it's just so wonderful. I love the story. It was great, guys. It was fantastic. So there isn't much to say about this. It was great. You guys were right. Of course, you were right that I was going to enjoy this wonderful little story. So, yeah, I'm really excited to do another one. I'm gonna see what else I can find to write. If you guys have any more suggestions, go ahead and leave them down in the comments. But I for sure am looking to see what I can get to watch for free. So if I can watch anything I can watch for free is fine. So I got this on Disney Plus, which I already have Disney Plus. So I'll see if there's some more stuff that I can cross off my long list of things I need to watch. Well, guys, I really am enjoying myself watching these movies like at least once a week, and crossing off some movies, and man, I I'm enjoying myself. So anyway, guys, have a great day, and I will see you in the next video.